Hey everyone, Toshi here. So I want to talk about something I've been seeing recently. A lot of people have been making videos regarding the actual rerolling in this game. So rerolling is you make a new account and you try to get the character or snipe a character from the banners rather. So if we take a look here at the warps, right? Let's say I'm rerolling for Bronya, which is the character I most likely want to get. I'm gonna keep making accounts and get the beginner summons until I actually get her on one of those accounts. And once I get her on the account, then I will start playing the game. For other people, that is getting the best possible actual beginner account. So maybe you want a 2 5-star and 110 pool or something, right? And you would keep rerolling until you achieve that, even though the odds are low. And so one of the things I want to talk about is people are not recommending rerolling in this game, but I'm gonna be honest with you. You probably should reroll. And I mean like you should. Because to put this in perspective for you, this game has the same rates as Genshin, okay? We made a whole video on the gacha. We went over the rates and everything. If you want to check that out, I will have that video in the description. But we went over the rates and the actual gacha in the game. And it's no joke. You have the 50-50 also. So imagine having to get the 75 plus pity and then lose your 50-50, and then all of a sudden you can't even get the character on the banner. You're going to be mad and quit the game. This game is not very rewarding when it comes to actually getting, the currency. I've seen people collect all the currency in the CBT from start to finish and not even get seal. This game is not rewarding as of right now. It's very rough. I will say one thing though. They do give a lot of standard banner pools, and I think that's great. Being able to achieve a lot of pools and actually pull in the banners and the newbie banner they added, which was a 50 pity beginner banner, that's great. You can get a new character, new 5-star at 50 summons. You start the game. That's amazing. I think every game should have something like that for new players. But that's kind of where the generosity ends. These light cones, since the currency is so tight in this game, I can't even recommend pulling on light cone banners. This is going to be something I doubt, or I really don't think any free to play should ever pull on, because you're going to be mostly going for characters. But as I was saying before, you probably will want to reroll, because the last thing you want is to pull in the newbie banner and not get a character that you like or want to use, and then have to use that character until you pull another character on either the Stellar Warp banner or the actual limited character banner, character event warp. And as I was playing through the CBT, I've been really, really bored. I think the story is amazing. The story is great. I've been actually enjoying a lot of dialogue. I think there's a lot of corny, funny moments in the actual story itself, and it's been a generally good time so far. I like the story more than Genshin Impact's story, but that's just me personally. I'm more of a sci-fi person, anyways. I like science fiction more than anything else, so I definitely am a target audience when it comes to the actual storyline. But the gameplay falls short for me when it came to using Clara. I think Clara is the cutest character in the game by far. I mean, she's adorable. She has very nice hair. I just like this character design. But I cannot get around her playstyle. It's very boring. So if you ever play turn-based games, you know how different 5 stars or different characters rather have different types of abilities, different types of synergies with other characters, and different playstyles overall. This character promotes a very, I want to say, slow playstyle. You're mostly dealing counterattack damage, and this is going to be your main source of damage is counterattacks. So you build her with literally no speed. I mentioned this in my last video. Little to no speed. You build her for a lot of attack, a lot of tanky stats, and you kind of just AFK and let her do everything for you. That's not my playstyle. I don't enjoy that, and if other people don't enjoy that, I could see that as well. It's not for everyone. I am more of a fast, aggressive player. I like using characters where you can boost up the attack of another DPS and have that DPS one shot or team wipe. Like maybe you use Ting Yun and you boost up your Herda, and then all of a sudden your Herda does massive AoE damage and clears out all of the mobs. I love doing that. I have the most fun when I'm literally doing the resin farms because I get to use this combo. But when I have to do other content in the game that is more harder, because I don't have the proper characters to do that content, I have to use bruiser characters because she's my strongest character on my account. And that's what I'm trying to say is if you get a character that doesn't fit your playstyle or what you kind of enjoy playing in a turn-based game, you're not going to have fun. And that's why I really recommend rerolling, because you don't want to end up like me and get a character that you don't enjoy at all. Now, of course, Bronya ends up being the strongest character in the actual standard banner, but that's not the reason why I actually want her. I thoroughly enjoy her design, and I like the playstyle she provides. Being able to boost up the combat readiness, the forward action bar, and then give an attack buff and a damage boost to an ally is amazing. I would love to use her with Seal. That'd be phenomenal. Use her with another DPS like Kafka. You have a lot of AoE damage with dots, damage over time, and you're gonna kill every mob that comes close to that you even come across. And I cannot, do or play that way with Clara. I just can't. I can maybe use a character like Bronyan and boost up Clara, but then it's not the same because most of Clara's damage comes from her counterattacks. So what I'm trying to say is, of course, if you do not have time, then don't reroll. But the last thing you want is to end up with characters that you're not going to really enjoy. Because let's be honest, the characters you get in the beginning of the game are going to be the characters you're playing with for a very, very, very long time. It takes so long to get roles in this game. It takes longer than Genshin Impact because you have to sit through tons and tons of dialogue. Whenever you do a quest, there's even more dialogue. It feels like playing Genshin Impact 3.0 plus. There's so much more dialogue in the game than I had expected it to be. Now, I'm not saying it's bad, right? I enjoy the story. The story is great. The story is good. What I'm trying to say is it's going to catch you off guard when you actually play it for your first time. You won't really expect, especially if you're not really someone that doesn't enjoy actual stories in games. You just want to play the actual game itself. Well, you're probably not going to like the amount of dialogue in Honkai Star Rail. The fact that you can't skip it is definitely a turnoff for a lot of people, and I could understand why you would be frustrated if you were have to sit through all of that, right? So, if you do end up playing this game and you know that you like a specific character on this banner, so maybe you like maybe you like Jetpar, maybe like him, you come in like Brawler, right? Whatever character you enjoy the most is the character you should actually go for. And I really do recommend rerolling. Now, how does the reroll process work in this game? Okay. Now, you probably watched other videos and everyone else has been saying, oh, there's a long tutorial. It takes like maybe 30 minutes to an hour to actually complete the tutorial. And then you can finally start doing rolls on the banner. And the rates are already low enough, right? So it's going to be hard to get the characters itself. But I cannot express how much that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I would rather re-roll for a day, 2 days, 3 days at max, right? To get the character I want from the banner than to have to sit through hours, days, and weeks. There's no guarantee you can get Bronya, anytime you play this game. There is like a 300 summon thing, but let's be honest. You know how long this is going to take you if you are a free-to-play player? 2 years. You will not, who wants to wait 2 years to get I'm not waiting 2 years to get Bronya. I want to get this character as soon as the game comes out for global. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reroll until I get this character. I got the most pulls you would get in the beginning of the game, and I only did like 1/10 of the pulls necessary needed to actually get the 5-star. Now I'm going to get pulls that are going to be drip fed to me constantly throughout the game. So I cannot express this enough. When you play this game, please actually get the characters you enjoy. And I really do recommend rerolling, because the last thing you want is to end up with a character you do not enjoy and you have to sit through the actual game, because let me put this into perspective for you. From the beginning to the middle game, you are sitting through tons and tons of dialogue. That's pretty much going to be most of Honkai Star Rail for you. There's no skip button. You're going to be sitting through dialogue. You're going to be doing quests where you have to run back and forth to different NPCs. You might have to kill a couple mobs here and there, but they're not going to be anything, tough. It'll take you like 2 seconds to clear them out. And then you're going to go back to, hours and hours of dialogue where you're sitting through. If you actually genuinely enjoy the story and you're actually going to, read through it, then that's how long it'll take you. So I cannot express this enough. Please, if you are on the fence about rerolling, just do it. Get the character you want and don't look back. If it takes you 3 days, just do it, because the currency they give you is very, very little. and it doesn't warrant actually like this right here existing is just for whales and to bait people into actually believing that, you know, it's achievable. Like you're not gonna have to break your back over it. But let's be honest, if you are free to play, this is gonna be it's gonna take like 2 years to get this, right? I also want to talk about one more thing as well. And this was something that no one brought up, and I actually noticed on stream the other day. So in this game, as of right now in the CBT3, there is no character ascension rewards. So you know in Genshin Impact where you ascend your character the second or the first time, the third time, and then like the fifth time, and then you get like a wish, you know, and you can use that wish on a standard banner. Well, I mean, if you look at the characters here, there is none of that. So you're missing out on a lot of wishes. I mean, we could do the math 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. I'm missing 30 wishes that I could potentially use on the standard banner. And the more characters you get, the more characters you build, the more wishes you would get in Genshin Impact. But this game doesn't have that. You know why? Because they brought the standard banner pity. Well, the not necessarily the pity, but the 5-star selector, right? So they removed the ascension rewards and instead gave us this. And so I just want to mention this one last time. This game is mostly dialogue, okay? If you thought Genshin, you're mostly exploring, you're playing the actual game. This game right here is dialogue. If you do not go through the dialogue, you will be locked out of actually playing the game. If I play Genshin Impact right now, I can hop into the game. Even if I don't clear out Mondstadt, I can go all the way to Leeway, explore Leeway. Even if I don't, you know, do Leeway storyline, story quest, Mondstadt story quest, I can still go to Sumeru and explore. This game, you literally have to sit down and read the dialogue, or not read dialogue, but go through the dialogue, go through the actual quest to play the fucking game. I cannot express that enough. You have to actually play the game to get to other parts of the game. So different maps, different areas. So I'm warning you, if you are defensive about rerolling, just do it. It's worth it. You won't regret it. You'll get the character you like, and you won't have to worry about trying to snipe them from this banner eventually, because 300 summons is going to take you so long if you do not spend money on this game. I am just saying, right? So anyone that tells you that this is achievable, just don't take them. Like, I'm not saying everyone is BS, but 300 warps. That's 300 warps is 2 guarantees. Literally, I could get 2 seals for 1 Bronya. 2 guarantee seals for 1 Bronya. Okay? Just reroll. Okay? Just reroll. Anyways, that's it. That's the video I wanted to do. I've seen people making videos about the rerolling, and is it feasible? Should you do it? Just do it. You're like, if you get a character you don't enjoy, you're gonna be frustrated, right? Always get the character you enjoy, because there is literally no guarantee aside from this 300 pity that's gonna take you 2 years unless you spend all of your gems on the banner. But if you spend all your gems on this banner, then you can't spend your gems on the actual character limited banner. So then you miss out on characters like Seal, Jingwan, and Kafka. So I cannot recommend not rerolling it, that is if you know that there's a character on the banner that you actually want. Just do it. Anyways, that's the video. Thank you all for watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Peace.